Hey guys, it's Diana. So it's been about 3 years since I finished Ideal Protein, and I thought I'd do a little update. The first 2 years following the program, I was able to keep the weight off. I was actually terrified of gaining it back. So I weighed myself every month and fluctuated maybe 2 or 3 pounds up and down, but stayed around the same weight for about 2 years. This past year, I crept back up about 20 pounds. I'm not sure exactly how much I gained because I didn't want to weigh myself until I'd already started losing some weight. So I popped back up. I guess it must have been 25 pounds because it was like probably 150 something. And I'm now back down. I've lost all that weight again. I just stopped paying attention to what I was eating. I get through these ruts where I eat with my husband, who he has a terrible diet. He eats a lot of fast food. He doesn't eat vegetables. So when we're eating together or when I'm just letting him pick up dinner, it's fast food. And I got in the habit of eating with him and eating that food, just really bad diet, and got back up in the 150s. I thought about doing Ideal Protein again, but I didn't really have a lot to lose this time. And with how terribly I was eating, I was fairly certain that switching my diet back to something more nutritious would be fairly quick in losing the weight. That's what I did. I started counting calories, nothing extreme. I think I was eating maybe 1,400 calories a day. Not eliminating anything, just adding vegetables, cooking for myself, eating a lot of rice and fish, and the weight began to come off fairly quickly. So when I finished Ideal Protein, my health coach advised me to add some sort of activity 3 times a week to help burn some more calories, build some muscle, boost your metabolism, all of that. And I did not follow through with any sort of activity. I'm on my feet all day as a hairstylist, but it's pretty stationary. There's not a lot of moving around. So my feet would hurt at the end of the day. I didn't want to be on my feet anymore, but I really didn't have a lot of activity throughout the day. I was just standing. So I didn't end up following that advice, not because I didn't believe her, just because I didn't do it. And when I started to lose this 20 pounds again, I thought, what can I do so that this doesn't happen again? Because I just don't feel good when I'm that overweight. I don't have energy, I'm grouchy, everything hurts. It's not just aesthetics, it's very uncomfortable being that weight or higher. So I decided to finally take that advice, and I started off with some really gentle, low impact exercising. I do Pilates twice a week. It's a small class, and that's a really easy workout to motivate myself to continue to follow through with, because it's not, I'm not completely exhausted by the end. I don't feel completely drained, and I don't have to be super hype to get through a Pilates session, at least not this Pilates class that I take. After that, I started adding in more physical, higher impact. Well, nothing I do really is high impact, but a little bit more aggressive working out. I started spin class. I do some body weight training, yoga, and things like that, where nothing is overly intense that I don't look forward to going. And I do something every day. Oh, I ran too. I would run about 3 times a week. And all of these things I look forward to doing. Some of them aren't that hard, some of them a little more difficult, but I do something every day to get my body moving and to burn a little more to burn some more calories in a day. And now I have a little bit more muscle mass on my smaller frame, so I'm burning more calories throughout the day, every day. And it's really made an impact. I feel so much better. It helps me with my posture through work. It helps me to not hurt at the end of the day, in conjunction with eating more nutritious food. And I'm in a really great place right now. I enjoy working out. I enjoy the food I'm eating. I don't feel like I'm not on a diet. My diet has changed. So this is food that I'm going to continue to eat and not have to worry about the end of the tunnel and what I'm going to do when I'm done, because it is what it is. I'm at the weight where I finished Ideal Protein. I ideally would like to lose a little more fat still. I do carry a lot of my fat in the middle, so it would be nice to lose some more fat around my waist, but I'm not in any rush and I'm not really focusing on it. I'm focusing more on the eating and the exercising, and hopefully it'll come off a little bit more, but if not, I'm pretty comfortable where I am now. I don't have that bloated, heavy, dense feeling that I have when I am excessively overweight. After being done with this program for 3 years, would I recommend someone else start the program? And I think, honestly, if you are where I was, I had, I believe, 40 pounds to lose. I had no grasp of, that's not true. I didn't not have a grasp of what I should be eating, but I was so off course that this program reset my palate, because the food is very, it's not as flavorful as like junk food. Junk food has so much salt and fat and everything's elevated so that it makes healthier food taste more bland. And I believe going through this program, I was able to reset my palate so that I didn't crave that junk food anymore. And while I'm also able to do that on my own, this program really helped with that one situation where I also had a significant amount of weight to lose. I don't think it's any sort of long-term, I don't like their maintenance program. I think it's unrealistic. And I don't like that my thought, when I thought about losing weight most recently, my first thought was, how can I get some Ideal Protein snacks to fit into my day so I have something quick and easy to grab. It's really still training you to eat snack food, and for me, it's much better to have whole food so that I don't grab the easy snacks. I do have snacks in my house, but I have, like, you know, some unhealthy snacks. I have popcorn, which not in a bag, like just kerneled popcorn that I have to put oil in a pan, pop the popcorn, put stuff on it. So I'm actually still cooking even when I'm snacking. And my grab and go foods, I have some like oatmeal that I just need to add a little water to, or I have some frozen chocolate covered bananas. There are things that are still whole foods, not super processed, super sugary snack food. And that is the one downside, I believe, coming out of Ideal Protein, is that while it is really easy on the program, you think of those, or you want to lean on those foods in the future. So I think it's good if you have a significant amount of weight to lose, because it's going to come off fast. And it's good to only have to focus on, I believe you only cooked one meal a day, and then some vegetables with lunch. So you don't have to come up with a bunch of meals. And when you're someone going from eating junk to trying to eat healthy whole foods, that's really great to only have to plan one meal a day. So it does give you a little bit of wiggle room when you're trying to figure things out. That being said, I don't think that it's a great end goal, or not end goal, but I feel like maybe it shouldn't be used all the way until the end of your weight loss journey. Like, maybe it's a good thing to, sorry, I'm shaking the phone. Maybe it's a good way to start and get all the weight off, get practice cooking some food, and then finish your weight loss journey with your own cooking. Because now that I've done it that way, I didn't have to transition from how I was eating until how I will be eating forever. And you will have to do that coming off of Ideal Protein. So when you come off of it and you have that panic of what if I gain all this weight back? I have to be really careful about what I eat, and you're incorporating carbs back into your diet, and it's a good time to continue learning about food and exercise, because you also can't exercise on the diet. So I would say in the future, well, hopefully I won't have to do anything again, because I don't plan on gaining any weight. But if I were to recommend the diet for someone, I would recommend it as a way to get weight off quickly if you need to get a lot of weight off. But I would not recommend it for a long-term weight loss plan. It's just not how you're going to be eating forever. So you need to start practicing cooking for yourself, meal prepping, learning some easy recipes that are like your go-to recipes if you don't feel like planning something elaborate. For myself, I only cook for myself, so I don't have to plan a lot of meals every week, which is awesome. I can't imagine trying to eat healthy and also feed children because my husband is a very picky eater in the same way that a child would be picky. He likes fast food, he likes pizza rolls, he likes all of these unhealthy foods that he's an adult, he can make that for himself. I don't have to worry about it, and I don't have to cook separate meals, or I don't have to cook multiple meals. I just have to cook for myself. So I can imagine it would be hard to cook for yourself differently than you cook for your family, or try to convince picky eaters to eat the food that you're eating. And I can't give any advice for that. I just think that losing weight needs to be, well, the diet that you eat while you're losing weight needs to transition into your forever diet. It shouldn't feel like once you're done dieting, then you go back to how you ate before. That's not going to work. So maybe having some more time practicing eating a better diet before you're in maintenance mode might be better for you in the long run. I don't know. I just know that fortunately for me, losing weight is fairly easy. I've done it many times in my life. It's keeping the weight off and continuing to eat a healthy diet. And this diet that I'm eating now is probably the least restrictive diet I've ever had for myself. when I was losing weight. Like I said, I haven't restricted anything. I just pay attention to how much of things I'm eating. I love to bake, so I made it all through the holidays, baking cupcakes and cookies and cheesecake, and didn't gain any weight. I just put in how many calories the foods I was making had so that I could control how much of everything I was eating. And I find that when I'm not eliminating things completely, when I still get to have the good foods, I don't feel any sort of, what's the word? I don't feel deprived. And the deprivation or the feeling like I can't have something is what would trigger me to go and eat a handful of Doritos. And honestly, I have had days when I just wasn't feeling my best, or sometimes at work we get so busy that we forget to eat, or there have been days when I've left my food at home and come home and eat food that I shouldn't be eating, and I feel bad for a minute and move on and just continue to eat better, and no weight has come back on. So yeah, I've gone off on a tangent about diet, but I feel like Ideal Protein is good for a specific situation and not necessarily what I would choose if I only had 20 pounds to lose, or even 20 or 30 pounds. You know, you can get that off on your own, and it's probably better for you in the long run. I really would only use Ideal Protein if you've got a lot to lose and you're trying to speed the process up a little bit so that you can really get motivated, because there's nothing worse than dieting and not losing weight. It sucks. It really sucks. So get your kickstart with Ideal Protein, get some good poundage off, and then transition into just more clean, healthy eating. I wish I were the person who could give you some tips and tricks on food, but I'm not the best cook. Like I said, I like to bake, so my food is pretty simple and nothing exciting or tantalizing. So I hope you are doing well on your journey, losing weight or maintaining your weight loss. And I will maybe see you again, maybe not. I don't know. Bye, guys.